Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, November 24, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather look. And we can see that as of their latest update that just came out at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this just came out almost 35 minutes ago, considering that it's 6:44 p.m. right now. We can see that there is no new tropical cyclone activity expected during the next 7 days. So it doesn't look like we're going to be getting Tony, Valerie, or William anytime soon. I guess the hurricane season is going to be wrapping up in general. But we can see that we still have a lot of moisture to experience this week across the Caribbean for sure. We're going to be looking at the latest Euro and the latest GFS supercomputer model runs. And we're going to be going on to the next 7 days, so keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here, going on to the next 168 hours. And keep your eyes focused as well across the Caribbean right here, where we're going to be looking for the moisture as represented by the reds, oranges, yellows into the greens, represents inches of rainfall. And we can see Jamaica right here just for reference. So let us take a look at what's going to be unfolding over the next 7 days according to this latest run of the Euro model that just came out at 4 p.m. today. So we can see that as we head into Monday, 3Z on Monday is actually 10 p.m. on Sunday. So I guess this is 10 p.m. tonight. We see a lot of moisture in and around Jamaica for sure. Let's continue to go out in time as we head into the day on Monday. So this is 12Z on Monday, which is actually 7 a.m. We see more of the darker greens and the yellows and the oranges coming closer to Jamaica. And we saw that it wasn't as robust as the models had predicted yesterday for today. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lot more rainfall on Monday than what we got today. Maybe that's when the flash flooding is going to be taking place for sure. I hope that everybody is staying prepared and staying alert just in case. As we continue throughout the day on Monday, still have a lot of rainfall in and around the island. Tuesday, not much change, still have a lot of rainfall in and around the island. Wednesday, not much change, still have a lot of rainfall in and around the island. Thursday, not much change. Well, in a way, we see more whites than anything else, but we still have a lot of rainfall, especially to the east of the island for sure. Friday, we see that yes, there's less rainfall, but there's still some amount of rainfall lingering, especially right there between Jamaica and Haiti. And we're just going to be going out and stopping at the end of the 168 hours. So we see that as we head into Friday, definitely more whites. So maybe some isolated showers. Saturday, something similar. And then we're going to be stopping right there at 12Z on Sunday, December 1, 2024. So that's 7 a.m. on Sunday, and we see that we still have a lot of moisture, especially across the southern and southwestern Caribbean right there. Let us see what the latest GFS model is showing. So this just came out an hour ago. This is the 18Z run of the GFS, and we can see 12Z on Monday, this is 7 p.m. We still have a lot of moisture in and around Jamaica, even as we saw on the latest infrared. We see that there's still a lot of clouds in and around the island. I'm going to be showing what's happening currently across the island soon, along with the Doppler radar images. There seems to be a lot of rainfall coming in from the east as we speak, but let us see what the next 7 days hold in terms of what the GFS is showing. So we see that yes, as we head into 12Z on Monday, which is actually 7 a.m., we have deeper greens, we have yellows, oranges, reds. Take this work as a grain of salt, because remember what happened today. We were expecting a lot of this across the island, but we didn't have much of it. Yes, we had it across section of some parishes, but not all, especially not in the southeast where it was predicted to affect the most. Let's continue to go in time. Tuesday, 12th on Tuesday, it's actually 7 a.m. We still see a lot of heavy rainfall right there to the south of Jamaica, as represented by the dark greens. The yellows are represented anywhere from 2 all the way up to 6 inches of rainfall. Continuing to go in time. Wednesday, we don't see much change. Still have a lot of moisture coming into Jamaica. We still have a lot of moisture to the far south of the island as well. Thursday, we still have some rainfall coming into the island. Friday, look at the broad area of low pressure right there to the southwest of Jamaica, trying to get something spinning right down in there. The GFS is always trying to formulate something. We see an area of low pressure. We see deep convection with the dark greens, yellows, oranges, reds, all the way up into the purples. That's ridiculous. If that actually happens, and we see the isobars tightening up right there to the north of Panama, to the northeast of Costa Rica, to the east of Nicaragua right there. Something trying to consolidate, something trying to get its act together. But the fact that the Hurricane Center isn't highlighting anything as yet definitely shows that they don't have much, they don't have much faith in what's going to be happening, especially considering that the euro hasn't been showing anything huge down there. A lot of isobars. We see an area of low pressure right there off the coast of Colombia, but that's just about it. We see that at the end of the next 7 days, Sunday, December 1, both the euro and the GFS, for the most part, have moisture to the southwest of Jamaica. GFS trying to formulate something. Looks to be something along the lines of a tropical storm, possibly pushing westward into southern Nicaragua or northern Costa Rica. Euro just has a lot of moisture down there, so we don't have the consensus as yet, and we know that they have to work with the consensus on these global models, and that's what they use to make their predictions. But even if we don't get the next name on the list, which is Tony or Valerie or William, we know that there's going to be a lot of rainfall still to come across the Caribbean, including Jamaica, and we're going to be highlighting all of this. So we can see the rainfall stretching as far as the Bahamas, into Cuba, the Cayman Islands, portions of northern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, section of the ABC Islands, Hispaniola, all the way back up into the Bahamas. And we see the dark reds that represent up to the 2 inches of rainfall range. We see the purples that represents up to the 3 inches of rainfall range. We see the pinks, 4 inches into the peach colors, up close to the 7 inches of rainfall, especially for eastern Jamaica right here. And it's not only the Euro model that is showing this, but the GFS is showing something similar. Lots of rainfall going to be in store for portions of Jamaica over the next 7 days. We see a lot of it right there to the far south of the island in the blues that represent anywhere from 10 all the way up to maybe 25 inches of rainfall, if that actually verifies. A lot of it right there to the east of Costa Rica as well. So there's going to be a lot of rainfall this week for sure. It's a trough. The troughs can be very tricky. I've stated this a lot of times in the past. Guys, when it comes to troughs, it could be a case where we're getting more overcast skies, more drizzle, more of the rainfall out to sea. Sometimes it's a case where the rainfall starts to come in wicked all across the island, flooding out some spots, leaving other areas drier than normal. These troughs can be very tricky at times. They can't be 100% accurately predicted with what's exactly going to be taking place. So they can be tricky. We can wake up tomorrow with the place flooding out. We can wake up tomorrow with sunshine. That's how tricky these troughs can be. We saw what happened today. There was a forecast for a lot of rainfall for southeastern parishes, but we didn't get in on much of that. We got in on more drizzle, overcast skies, but that could definitely change within the next 24 hours for sure. And we see that the close-up in terms of the accumulated precipitation forecast, still in consensus that there's going to be a lot of rainfall, especially for eastern parishes. We see the yellows, the oranges, the pinks, the reds, the purples. That represents anywhere from the 30 millimeters of rainfall all the way up to 150 millimeters of rainfall on the Euro. The GFS something similar, but more so oranges, pinks, reds, and purples, especially across the south and the east. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Both of these maps from the Euro and the GFS going all the way out to Sunday as well. So we have the close-up and we have the wide view and we're going to be moving on now to the surface map. So hopefully everybody stays alert to exactly what's going to be happening, just in case the Meteorological Service of Jamaica issues a flash flood watch or warning. But the thing is, flash flooding definitely possible either way, even if they don't issue a warning or a watch. We saw what's been happening across northern parishes over the past 24 hours. Section of Hanover, section of St. Anne. I definitely got footage coming in of flash flooding, so we can definitely get flash flooding regardless of the Meteorological Service of Jamaica issuing a watch or a warning. If we take a look here at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we still have those periods of cold fronts right there to the north of the Caribbean. The cold front has induced a trough now across Jamaica, as represented by the broken orange lines. Another trough right here between Hispaniola and Puerto Rico, right there to the north of northwestern Venezuela. We see the red line right here associated with the intertropical convergence zone. We see periods of cold front right here across the northern portion of North Atlantic, another trough right here attached to it. And we see ridges of high pressure plaguing the northern portion of the North Atlantic that we know are responsible for sending all of these entities from east to west across the main development region through the Caribbean. And if we take a closer look at the visible satellite images of the Caribbean, we can definitely make out all of these entities, the clouds associated with the frontal systems and the trough that has induced, stretching all the way from northern portion of North Atlantic all the way down into portion of the southwestern Caribbean, all across Jamaica. We see the clouds associated with the intertropical convergence, so definitely bring a lot of moisture into portion of northern South America and section of the Windward Islands for sure. And we can see that we're definitely losing all of that sunlight as well. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Sunday, November 24, 2024. It was stated here, brace yourself Jamaica, tonight into Sunday might just be nature's way of giving you an impromptu water park. Prepare for a tropical downpour extravaganza that could potentially turn streets into rivers and backyards into lakes. And you're prompted to watch it on YouTube, especially considering that we have timestamps that you can utilize, not forcing anyone here to watch the entire video. Please utilize the timestamps in the video description or in the comment section. Skip to the parts that you want to see the most. I know that we all have busy lives living, so more than likely the rainfall would have been affecting all parishes from the north coast to the south coast to eastern parishes. We're talking about Surrey County. Central parishes, we're talking about Middlesex County. Western parishes, we're talking about Cornwall County. And what ended up happening, as early as 9:20 p.m. last night, we saw the Cuban Doppler radar images being posted on our Twitter page. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, but they're also made on our Instagram page with the .Jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can see the Cuban Doppler radar images showing some rainfall affecting sections of some northern parishes, definitely some moderate to heavy rainfall in some spots. And we also saw a huge squall line stretching all the way from the western peninsula of Haiti all the way down close to the eastern portion of Jamaica. We see the greens, we see the yellows, we see the oranges. That represents moderada in the green, that's moderate rainfall, and fuerte in the yellows and golds, that's strong or heavy rainfall stretching all the way from Haiti close to Jamaica right there. And in the morning, the visible satellite image was posted at around 7:16 a.m. highlighting that yes, we're receiving sunny conditions, especially on the south coast. We spoke about this. These troughs can definitely bring dry conditions, if not sunny weather at first, and then later on heavy rainfall. It could be a case where we get rainfall all night tonight, and then in the morning we get sunshine, or we get fair weather tonight, heavy rainfall tomorrow morning, and then the afternoon is fair, or rainfall during the afternoon instead of the morning. Well, this morning we saw that it was definitely sunny for the most part across sections of some southern and central and western parishes, but sections of some northern parishes were picking up on some overcast skies and some isolated showers at that time. We're talking about St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, and then we highlighted the infrared satellite images showing the deep convection. We saw the yellows, the oranges, the reds represent the strong thunderstorms right there off to the south of Haiti, to the southeast of Jamaica for sure. They were definitely setting the stage to come closer to the island as the day progressed, and that was exactly what took place, because at 1:45 p.m. the infrared satellite image was posted highlighting the high cold cloud tops coming in, especially across sections of some central and eastern parishes, and then later on spilling into sections of some western parishes. We see the deep convection as represented by the yellows, oranges, reds, the blacks within all of that, not to mention the sparkling white dust that we know represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes, to the northeast of Jamaica, across central Jamaica, and to the southwest of Jamaica right there. And then finally we showed the live cam from See Jamaica's YouTube channel highlighting halfway tree. Definitely saw that it was definitely wet, definitely soaking across halfway tree for sure. Just some light to moderate rainfall. We saw people with their umbrellas, we saw people in their vehicles going about their business with their windshield wipers on, and we can look to the north and see that even the hills of St. Andrew at around 1:56 p.m. well, at around 4:48 p.m. definitely getting in on the moderate to light rainfall for sure. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can make out the blanket of whites that represent the cloud cover all across the island from east to west, and we can make out the upper level clouds being sheared off from southwest to northeast as well. And we can make it all out even better on the infrared close-up satellite images of Jamaica. We can definitely see the thunderstorms that took place, especially across sections of some central and western parishes right there. But look at what we're seeing coming in from the east now. Could definitely be setting the stage for what's to occur. We're going to be looking at the latest on what's happening right now shortly, but let's go out in time. Let us see what took place across Crossroads today. Yes, they definitely got on the light rainfall as well. We see some people right here at the bus stop taking shelter, vehicles with their windshield wipers on. Definitely see the soaking rainfall across Crossroads for sure at that time. I would definitely have some comments coming in here from some of our subscribers on our YouTube page. We had Sapphire Benjamin 8701 stating raining from 1:30 until now in Moko Clarendon. Rosemary Richard 6786 stating raining in Stony Hill 3 hours ago. Michael Masters 8479 raining in North St. Catherine. Active 4081 stating raining in Clarendon. Antonique Leachman 4504 good afternoon everyone, windy and rainy conditions in Old Harbor. We also have Bob Brown 13953 raining Port Maria. Anne-Marie Robinson high 42 stating good evening weather Jamaica. Good evening Anne-Maria. Raining in Thornton, St. Elizabeth. We also have TJ Mitchell I stating rain like crazy in Manchester. Charmaine Eastleigh 991 raining cats and dogs in Manchester. Yvonne Watts 9101 raining in Portland. We even have some comments coming in here on our Twitter page. We had Gooner Princess, I'm having rains now, Planters Hall District. We also have another comment here from B_Wayne_H stating raining in northeastern Manchester. Brielle Patton, rain in Mandeville. Even on our Facebook page, we had the comments coming in. We have Roxanne Campbell stating slight drizzling along with some strong wind in St. Catherine. Well, in Trelawney, not St. Catherine. Olivia Shannon, still raining in St. Mary. Stacy De La Pena stating raining in Caledonia Road, Mandeville. Kiki stating rain here in Portmore finally. Oh, I love that song. I'm glad you love that song as well. Alright, we have Christine Francis 87.5 raining from yesterday, Guys Hill. Beloved Debbie one sitting raining in Pembroke Hall. Even on our Instagram page we had the comments coming in. One right here from Anne Marie 2640 non-stop raining runaway Bay St. Anne. Building underscore small underscore building. Business underscore stating raining in Manchester. And if we take a look here on our Instagram page, we have God's underscore favorite underscore daughter 46 stating Kingston just dark up little drizzling. Stoy seas very rainy in northwest St. Catherine. We also have Marjorie C566 stating nice moderate rainfall perfect in the Sunday evening. Alcibu underscore bless stating loving the rain. And we also have Finey underscore too cute. Kingston get little drizzle down but loving the overcast place cool and nice. And finally we have CC7E stating it's raining in Port More. Alright, so that indeed confirms the rainfall that was predicted on some of our pages. As a matter of fact, we even have some comments that came in on our TikTok page. We have one from Stacy Big Money Boss. Miami Bay St. Anne flooded now. And we definitely had confirmation of this. We have Sunday Licious. My yard is a water park right now. This is history. And then when she was asked where she lived, she stated Miami Bay. And as a matter of fact, I think I even got footage. Somebody sent me footage of some rainfall that took place, some heavy rainfall in their area. I wonder if I can find that specific video. Somebody sent me a video recently, some heavy rainfall on Instagram. Alright, don't think I can find it at all. Alright, either way, definitely saw the heavy rainfall and the flooding that was taking place across section of St. Anne for real. Definitely got in on the bad weather, especially on the north coast. We've been hearing and seeing the footage out of Hanover, and then I definitely got footage today across section of St. Anne too. Alright, so let us take a look at what's happening right now. We can see the latest still image just came out at 23:55 UTC. So this just came out at 6:55 p.m. considering that it's 7:05 p.m. right now. We can definitely make out that yes, we still have some clouds across portions of the island, but look at what's coming in from the east. We can see some thunderstorms, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the blacks, and the sparkling white dust that represent the lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. Definitely off to the east of St. Thomas and Portland, and it's definitely pushing westward towards us. And if we take a look at the very latest Cuban Doppler radar images, let us match it to what we just saw on the satellite image. Right, the latest Cuban Doppler radar image just came out at 7 p.m. So this just came out 6 minutes ago, considering that it's 7:06 p.m. right now. We can make out that heavy rainfall and look at the direction that it's pushing towards the west. So I guess it's tonight and we're gonna be getting on the heavy rainfall. Look at that. The greens into the yellows that represent some moderate to heavy rainfall pushing westward. St. Thomas, Portland, definitely going to be getting it, and then possibly spreading into other parishes. We're talking about Kingston, St. Andrew, maybe sections of St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Mary, St. Anne, and let's see if it eventually gets as far into Cornwall County. If we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban Naval Radar imagery, we can definitely make out some rainfall across eastern Cuba, some rainfall between Jamaica and Haiti right there. The blues, the greens represent some light to moderate rainfall. The yellows within all of that represent some heavy rainfall too. And if we take a look at the Cayman radar, we can make out that not much is happening across the Cayman Islands right now, but the rainfall is definitely right there to the south and east of the Cayman Islands. We see the greens, we see the yellows that represent some moderate to heavy rainfall. And if we take a look at what's happening right now on the Barbican Cam, definitely soaked streets. Not seeing much happening at all in terms of rain. Definitely seem to have cooled down right now, but that could definitely change as the night progresses. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can still have 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Monday, temperature should be down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Monday when calculated. That's about 1 p.m. on Monday, and we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some grays and some slight yellow colors that represents average to slightly above average temperatures like what we see on the key on the right. And we know the average temperatures for the month of November across Jamaica are around 88 degrees Fahrenheit. When 88 degrees Fahrenheit is converted to Celsius, we're talking about 31.1 degrees Celsius. So it should be anywhere from 31 to 32 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Monday. And definitely could be cooler than that, especially in areas that are receiving some showers and thunderstorm activity. So if it's gonna be a bit too hot for you, it could definitely be or feel even hotter with the lack of electricity, because according to the JPS's Twitter page, they stated that there's going to be outages for these areas. We're talking about Hillshire Green in St. Catherine. That's from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So it could feel hotter than normal if you're not getting in on that rainfall. No fans, no ACs to cool it down. We also have power outages in store for Central Road off Constant Spring Road, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in St. Andrew on Monday as well. Another one on Monday for Valdez Road, as well as Kitson Main Road. Different times, we're talking about 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Valdez Road, Kitson 8:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. both in St. Catherine on Monday. We also see that we have power outages at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for Dulwich Avenue and 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. for Pleasant Valley Road and Pleasant Valley Close in St. Catherine, well, in St. Andrew on Monday as well. If we take a look here, we also have Villa La Cage, West End Grill at 10 a.m. 4 p.m. they're going to be losing power as well, St. Andrew on Monday. And finally, we have Westgate Hills losing power from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in St. James on Monday too. So get yourselves ready for the power outages. I don't know why they said Monday, November 23. November 25 is Monday. So I guess they made a typo right there. But get yourselves ready for the power outages. Last week I was very upset because I have fun, I have AC, but there was a whole power outage in my neighborhood, and I wish I had checked the JPS website, because boy, the heat was times 10 with the lack of electricity, with the lack of fan or AC. So I'm gonna start, doing this, highlighting where the power outages will be. If you have friends or relatives in those areas, please ensure that you let them know that a power outage is coming their way. If you are going to be affected, you now know, so make your preparations from now. Either way, we have some tips right here to beat the heat. Always dress down, wear lightweight clothing, and use sunscreen. Seek shade when outside. Eat fresh fruit. Try eating cold foods such as salads. Rest, make sure you get enough sleep, and rest if you're feeling tired. Soak, take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to always stay hydrated. Put away the sugary drinks, drink water instead. If we take a look at the dry air map, as stated, all of the air behind the frontal systems right here across the northern Bahamas, Florida, the east coast of the United States, the northwestern Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico, definitely getting in on the brunt of the dry air. We know the dry air is represented by what we see on the key at the bottom, the yellows, the oranges, the reds right here, and we see a lot of moist air in the blues from the western to the central to the eastern Caribbean. Lots of moist air for sure, and we're going to be getting on a lot of rainfall within the next 24 to 48 hours. So get yourself ready for that. In terms of the Saharan, this forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday. We can see Jamaica right here at that time, definitely getting in on the clear weather. North America, the Bahamas, the Caribbean, South America, and Central America definitely going to be in the clear, as all the browns represent the Saharan. Those should be across mainly the eastern portions of the main development region and Africa. And we see the browns right here, and we're glad about is that we're not seeing that vigorous blue. We're not seeing that very dark shade of brown that we know can cause very hazy skies, not to mention trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses, asthma, sinusitis in some persons. And we're also glad that we don't have a very strong ridge of high pressure out here that's sending everything from Africa with all of this dust from east to west across the main development region into the Caribbean. We're seeing that it keeps coming right down in here across the southern main development region, and especially dissipating or dying out. We're glad about that. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS are showing the darker blues, stretching all the way from the eastern to the central and western Caribbean. That represents anywhere from 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights, and that's because the winds across the Caribbean should be coming in from the east for the most part. And we see the greens and we see the yellows, so it should be averaging anywhere from 15 to 20, maybe even gusting to 25 knots in some spots, like what we see on the key on the bottom right. But in terms of what's expected across Jamaica within the next 24 hours, we can see this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS. They're both in consensus. We see more of an easterly kind of flow in general across the island for sure. We see the winds averaging anywhere from the 15 all the way up to the 20 knots, maybe even gusting to 25 knots in some spots. And regarding the upper level wind shear, we see that the upper level wind still coming in from the southwest, so it could very much still favor most of that rainfall, especially during the afternoon for sections of some northern parishes, but southern parishes could definitely get in on rainfall too. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing 10 p.m. tonight. And let's take the forecast with a grain of salt again. It could be a case where all of the rainfall is out to sea. It could be a case where it's some hit or miss rainfall. But considering that we see a lot of rainfall out to the east coming in as we speak, it could definitely verify if it actually pushes its way westward. We see the Euro has a lot of rainfall in and around the island for sure, as represented by the blues, especially across the eastern portion of the island. GFS something similar, and GFS also trying to incorporate southern Jamaica with some heavy rainfall. The greens, the yellows, oranges, the pinks, the reds. That's a lot of rainfall if that actually verifies. Skipping ahead now to about 12 a.m. This is midnight tonight. We can see the rainfall still plaguing portion of the island from the east to the west. GFS still a bit more robust, showing the heaviest rainfall, and the blues, the greens, the yellows, oranges, the pinks, the reds, especially across the southern portions of the island. We'll see exactly what unfolds if that actually verifies. Skipping ahead now to about 5 a.m. on Monday, we still see rainfall in and around the island, stretching all the way from the east to the west. The GFS something similar, with the heaviest of the rainfall to the south of Manchester, to the north of St. Ann and St. Mary. We'll see exactly what unfolds with that. Skipping ahead now, we're talking about 9 a.m. on Monday. We still see the rainfall stretching from the east to the west across the island. Euro definitely a bit more robust than the GFS. GFS trying to clear out across the western portion of the island with more whites. 3 p.m. the afternoon, still showing rainfall stretching all the way from the east to the west. Eastern, central, and western parishes still going to be getting on rainfall. Then we even see that even by 8 p.m. tonight, or 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, we see that there's going to be rainfall still plaguing the island according to the Euro model. GFS trying to be more reserved with the southern parishes, but northern parishes still going to be getting in on some amount of rainfall. And we know we're talking about eastern, central, western parishes, so not northern or southern. Maybe northern parishes, especially with that upper level wind shear. We know northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Ann, St. Mary, Portland. So regardless, we could still get some rainfall across sections of some southern parishes. It's more so eastern, central, and western parishes. We know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, I know we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Ann, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. While western parishes, I know we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, and Trelawney. And even the accumulated precipitation forecast for the next 24 hours shows a lot of rainfall. The Euro definitely showing the yellows, the oranges, the reds up to 1 inch of rainfall or more. Even some purples, maybe close to 3 inches of rainfall across the far east. This is definitely concerning. Flash flooding definitely going to be possible for sure. There's going to be a lot of rainfall from now all the way up into the end of the day on Monday. Some isolated flash flooding, wouldn't be surprised if some persons are unable to go to school or work or whatever the case may be. The GFS definitely more robust, especially across the areas that the 1 hour totals has the most rainfall piling up across sections of some south central parishes. We're talking about Manchester, Clarendon, maybe southwestern St. Catherine, southeastern St. Elizabeth getting in on some of the action. Lots of rainfall. We'll see if all of that actually unfolds. You remember yesterday it was showing something similar for Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine and St. Thomas, but that's definitely not what happened. But it looks like it's starting to take shape as we speak, given the latest Cuban Doppler radar images. Let us see the very latest right now. Alright, so the time is now 7:18, so the latest image just came out at 7:10 p.m. And look at the huge squall line, that deep convection. Look at all of that. The yellows represent some strong or heavy rainfall right there off to the southeast of St. Thomas. All of that is pushing westward. So there could definitely be some bad weather later on this evening into tonight. And if we take a look at the rainfall that we usually receive throughout the year, for the month of November, we usually receive up to 50 millimeters of rainfall during the, well, across Kingston. That's almost 2 inches of rainfall. In Montego Bay, we usually receive close to 5 inches of rainfall. That's almost 125 millimeters of rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish receives throughout the year in terms of rainfall, you can visit weatherandclimate.com and they will show you that information. And you can use this nice graphic right here that I got from the US National Hurricane Center that shows rainfall being calculated from inches to millimeters. You know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the calculations yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have the clouds associated with the frontal system interacting with that trough, bring a lot of showers to sections of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, the Southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Eastern Cuba, Jamaica into Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, a section of Honduras getting in some amount of rainfall. We can also see some rainfall coming into portions of Puerto Rico. Some rainfall still plaguing portions of the Windward Islands. We're talking about Barbados, section of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname as well. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, let us see what's happening down there right now. We can definitely make out the greens into the yellows that represent some light to moderate to heavy rainfall. Still plaguing portions of northeastern Dominican Republic as of the latest 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some isolated showers right there across eastern Puerto Rico. Some rainfall right there in and around St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart, Guadeloupe, Dominica right there. If we take a look, as a matter of fact, let's go back and look at what was taking place earlier today at around 1:25. We saw that west or northwestern Puerto Rico and eastern and to the central portion of Puerto Rico definitely got on some rainfall. Some rainfall also came into portion of the British Virgin Islands. We also see some rainfall pushing from east-west into portion of St. Kitts and Nevis. If we take a look here at the Barbados radar, we can definitely make out some rainfall coming in from the east, affecting section of Martinique, section of southern St. Lucia, eastern St. Lucia, section of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada right there getting us some amount of rainfall. Not much affecting Barbados right now, just some isolated hit or miss showers. And if we scroll down, we can definitely see some amount of rainfall lashing portions of Tobago as well as section of Trinidad too. And if we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, you can see that rainfall right there on the Cayman radar, that rainfall right there to the east of Nicaragua. We can also make out some rainfall across portion of northwestern Venezuela. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Monday. And we can definitely see the heaviest of the rainfall in the dark reds and the purples. That represents up to 2, maybe up to 3 inches of rainfall for section of the southern Bahamas, eastern Cuba, Jamaica. We also see some rainfall in store for the Cayman Islands, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Some rainfall also in store for Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, coastal areas of Guyana, Venezuela, the ABC Islands, section of Suriname, French Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, and eastern Nicaragua, coastal areas of Honduras, Belize getting on some of the action too. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.